Welcome to the new video. Old Cryptic on the story of the 1958 Liberty Wheat Penny is one of the most fascinating chapters in American coin history, and it represents the final year of one of the most beloved coin designs in the United States. The coin most collectors call the Wheat Penny is officially known as the Lincoln Wheat Cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The design was created by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner, and it was the first regular United States coin to feature the portrait of a real historical person rather than the symbolic image of liberty. On the front of the coin, also called the obverse, you can see the right-facing profile of Abraham Lincoln, along with the word liberty, the year 1958, and the national motto, "In God We Trust." On the back of the coin, known as a reverse, there are two elegant wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the Latin phrase, E pluribus unum above. This simple yet powerful design remained in use for nearly 50 years and became a symbol of everyday American life, passed into the hands of millions of people during some of the most important moments in modern history. By the time the year 1958 arrived, the wheat penny had already been circulating for nearly half a century, and few people knew that this would be the last year the famous wheat ear design would ever be produced for circulation. The year 1958 was a transitional moment for American coinage. The United States Mint was preparing to introduce a new reverse design for the Lincoln cent in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. That new design would feature the Lincoln Memorial on the back of the coin instead of the wheat ears, marking the end of the classic wheat penny era. Because of this historical shift, the 1958 wheat penny became the final chapter in a long and iconic design series that had begun in the early 20th century. Millions of these coins were produced in 1958, primarily at the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, while the Denver coins feature a small D under the ear. In total, hundreds of millions of 1958 pennies entered circulation, which means many people today may still find one in old coin jars, collections, or inherited coin boxes. However, while most of these coins are common and worth only a small premium above their face value, certain rare varieties and high-grade examples have become highly valuable among collectors. One of the most famous and mysterious coins connected to the 1958 wheat penny is the legendary 1958 Doubled Die Obverse variety. This coin is considered one of the rarest Lincoln cent errors ever discovered. A double die occurs when the coin's design is mistakenly engraved twice on the die at slightly different angles, causing visible doubling in the lettering and numbers when the coin is struck. On the 1958 Double Die Obverse penny, collectors can clearly see strong doubling the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1958. What makes this coin extraordinary is its extreme rarity. Only a few genuine examples are known to exist, making it one of the most sought-after coins in the entire Lincoln cent series. When one of these coins appears at auction, it can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in some cases collectors estimate its value could reach close to $1 million depending on condition and demand. This incredible rarity has turned the 1958 double-dyed penny into a legend in the world of coin collecting. Aside from rare era varieties, the value of a normal 1958 wheat penny depends heavily on its condition. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from heavily worn circulated examples to pristine uncirculated coins that look almost exactly as they did the day they were minted. A circulated 1958 penny might show wear on Lincoln's hair and cheek and may have scratches or discoloration from years of use. These coins are very common and typically worth only a few cents to a collector. However, coins that were never used in circulation, known as mint state coins, can be worth significantly more. In very high grades such as MS-65 or MS-67, the coin may still display the original mint luster and sharp details. These high-quality examples are much rarer because most coins were used in everyday transactions. As a result, collectors are willing to pay a premium for beautifully preserved specimens. The metal composition of the 1958 wheat penny is also an interesting part of its story. The coin is made primarily of copper, with a composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This composition was standard for Lincoln cents from 1909 until 1982, except for a brief change during World War II when steel cents were produced to conserve copper for the war effort. Because the 1958 penny contains a high percentage of copper, its intrinsic metal value has increased over time as copper prices have risen. While melting U.S. pennies for their metal content is illegal, the copper composition still adds to the coin's appeal among collectors and investors who appreciate historic copper coinage. Another reason collectors enjoy searching for 1958 wheat pennies is the possibility of discovering mint errors. Mint errors occur when something unusual happens during the coin production process. For example, a coin might be struck off-center, meaning the design appears shifted to one side, or it might show die cracks, clipped planchets, or other unusual features. These errors can dramatically increase the coin's value because they are unique pieces of minting history. Even minor errors can make a coin more interesting to collectors who specialize in unusual varieties. The cultural significance of a 1958 wheat penny should not be underestimated. For nearly 50 years, the wheat ear design had become a familiar symbol of American currency. Generations of Americans carried these coins in their pockets, used them in vending machines, and saved them in piggy banks. The coin witnessed major historical events, including the Great Depression, World War II, and the early years of the Cold War. By the time 1958 arrived, the wheat penny had become a nostalgic icon of American daily life. When the design changed in 1959 to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, many people felt that an era had come to an end. Today, the 1958 Liberty Wheat penny remains a favorite among collectors of all experience levels. Beginners often start their collections by searching through rolls of pennies looking for wheat cents, while advanced collectors compete to find the highest graded examples for their collections. Coin shows, auctions, and online marketplaces regularly feature these coins, and collectors continue to study them for new varieties and errors. Even though billions of Lincoln cents have been produced over the decades, each individual coin carries its own small piece of history. If you happen to find a 1958 wheat penny in your pocket change, it may seem like just another small copper coin, but actually represents the final chapter of a design that shaped American coinage for half a century. From its historic connection to Abraham Lincoln to the legendary Doubled Die variety that fascinates collectors around the world, the 1958 wheat penny continues to capture the imagination of numismatists and history enthusiasts alike. Whether it is worth a few cents or potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, this humble 1-cent coin tells a powerful story about American history.